Yeah, man, I say all praises and honor unto Yahweh,
Hashem Yahushai, Hashem
HaKadosh. And double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom. To all the brothers and money here pushing the truth in all sincerity and all honesty. This is a brother from James, Jamaica Camp. Yashamai.
Ashar. Iwar.
I don't want to a lesson, on World War 3, right? Because this third World War destruction is basically preparing right now. Right, they have I think former president of Russia, speak about a scripture that mentioned in Revelation, right, and showing that these top leaders, Rockefellers, on down, watch our videos, right, because them have been speaking these things for years, right, and the scripture also said to, say after 3 days and a half, right, the spirit of life enter into them, and great fear fell upon them which saw them, so them see us, they see our videos, right, they see the things that we've been speaking about for years are come to pass, right, that's the reason why you can't quote certain scriptures now, because them hear us been speaking about these things that are take place, right.
This is the article from it says here, end of time headlines. It says a top Russian official, September 15, 2022, today's date. Right. It says a top Russian official just quoted the book of Revelation to describe America's soon fate.
God, and I've been saying for years, right? Especially apostles, and elders who basically been pushing this truth for years. We've been saying that America is going to get destroyed, right? And Russia is going to play a very important role according to what in the prophecy, right? And then we have, top officials, speak about, things we've been saying for years, right? Brother? Revelation, chapter Revelation,
This is Revelation 11,
verse 14.
14.
What?
It said the second woe is past.
Which is basically what? World War II. Right? So World War II is past. Right, go on.
And behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So this third woe, which is basically World War III, is coming quickly. Right? I will see the preparation, that take place right now, right before our eyes. Right? We see how the tension keep on building more and more, between Russia, and America, because according to the scripture, Russia is going to play a very important role, in the destruction of America. But according to what we read in the scripture. Right? Finish? Give me one Ezekiel. What do you have? What? Ezekiel 30 down one. Bring it on.
This is Ezekiel. Ezekiel 38 verse 1.
What?
It said, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thine face against Gog, the land of Magog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
God, since you say, the word of the Lord, right? Because it's all about the prophecy, right? The scripture tells us that, Isaiah 55 and verse 11, it said the word that goeth forth out of the mouth of the Heavenly Father, right? The true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, shall not return unto him void, but it shall basically accomplish. So all these things in the scripture, the Yahweh Hashem Shai, say what take place in the scripture, going to come to pass, right? So this is basically what the scripture says, right? In Ezekiel, 38. What again, brother?
It said, Son of man, set thine face against Gog, the land of Magog,
which is Russia today, because Russia dwell basically land of, Gogs, right? The Gogs and basically go back to Japhet, right? But Russians, which are basically also Edomites, so-called white people, them dwell in that land right now, right? Them live on that land mass, right? So they are basically, the modern day Gogs, because them dwelling in the land right now, we basically name Russia, right? Go on.
The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, go on.
And prophesy against them.
So we're supposed to prophesy also against the Russians, right? A lot of people think that we on the Russians them side because you know we speak say Russians them, right? Which are basically also Edomites and go destroy America. So then think so we on the Russian side. No, we're not on the Russian side. We're speaking according to what the scriptures say going to take place. Right? The Russians are going to play a very important role in the destruction of America. According to what we in the scripture, that's what we're bringing out. Right, go on, brother.
And say, thus said the Lord Yahweh,
Gone.
behold, I am against thee, O Gog,
Gone.
the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal,
Gone.
and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws,
Gone.
and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen.
Can't see how about Shemir Shai the one that will bring the Russian them forth, right? Bring them against America. Because people say in Isaiah, can you bring it up, brother? Isaiah and brother go up to that. Isaiah
34.
No, Jeremiah 51,
11.
Jeremiah.
51, 11. It's book of Jeremiah 51, verse 11.
One,
It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields.
one,
The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon.
can't say you say for his device, right, is against Babylon in purpose. Right, they're planning to basically destroy Babylon, which is America. Right, the daughter of Babylon. One,
Then, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord.
because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, Hashem Shai. Right, go on.
The vengeance of his temple.
Go on, exactly. Right, back to that scripture now, brother.
Right? Verse Ezekiel
Shut
28 and
up,
3.
bro.
God said, thus said the Lord
Yeah,
Yahweh,
Go on,
behold, I am against thee, O Gog,
go on,
chief
Yeah, man.
prince of Meshach
So
and
far.
Tubal,
go on,
and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws,
Gun,
and I will bring thee forth all thine army,
go on,
horses and horsemen,
go on,
all of them clothed with all sorts of armors,
go on,
even a great company with bucklers and shields,
go on.
all of them handling swords.
Right, so all them handling weaponry, all different type of weaponry. Right, go on.
Say, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya
Go on.
with them.
Gone. So because you know Russia, according to the prophecy, gonna basically be a god unto all these small nations. Right, and the main one is Persia, which is Iran today. Right, and you see things eating up now, you know, between so-called Jews, you know, and the Iranians, them. Right, because Scripture say what the least of the flock will draw them out, or draw
Yes, King.
them out in this third reservoir of destruction. Right, continue, brother.
All of them with shields and helmets.
Gone.
Gomer and all his band, host of Togarmah, Togarmah,
Togarmah.
Togarmah.
of the north quarters,
Gone.
and all his band,
Gone.
and many people with thee.
And many people with thee. Go on.
Say, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy companies
Gone.
that are assembled unto thee.
And Russia prepare right now, right? All all things them see happening right now in the earth, especially if you want to take place now in Ukraine. Russia getting the army, in that mindset, of basically go to war, right? Because you have a lot of equipment being sent into Ukraine, and Russia, basically been destroying a lot of Ukraine soldiers, right? So these military men are getting that mindset, basically, destroy. Right? What?
And be thou a guard unto them.
So Russia go be a guard unto all the small countries, them, all the small nations. Them. Right? Jump to verse 10.
Verse 10.
One.
Say, thus said the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass.
The last night we bring out this a live stream me and the brother did last night. Right, but as a brother, going to the article, speaking about what this top official speak about Revelation, Revelation prophecy will go to America, right? But it's a main scripture, right? In time, the first time, me about I see this article, the scripture come to mind. It's the reason why I want to bring out the scripture, right? This is point I want to bring from this scripture. Go on, brother.
Right? That all the same. No.
Read again.
Said, thus said the Lord Yahweh,
Go on.
it shall also come to pass that at the same time
Go on.
shall things come into thine mind.
So things are coming to their mind, coming to over mind, Russians in mind, right? One.
And thou shalt think an evil thought.
And they're going to think an evil thought. One.
And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages.
which is basically America. So they're going to go up to the land of unwalled villages, which is basically America, right? And slacker for the nice in the background, you know that we in the park, and you know we go already. You know, we're not in control over certain things. Right, go on, brother.
Say, I will go to them that are at rest
Go on.
and dwell safely.
Go on.
All of them dwelling with walls and having slack. It says, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates.
Gone. Right? So these Russians going to think on the evil thought, right? How about Shemesha are going to put the spirit on Russians them, and they're going to basically go to America. They're going to invade America along with the Western countries, Western nations. They're going to team up and they're going to come against America. They're going to spoil America. And after they spoil America, they're going to nuke America according to what the prophecy, you know, said that will take place. Right? You can go back to the article, brother. You know that
It says back to the article here. It says the Russians continue to threaten us with nuclear annihilation. Why are so few people in the Western world alarmed by this? They think it is because our leaders are assuring everyone.
Hold on. All them can't pass them. That's my thought. Can't pass them.
It says here, it says in the Western world, it says alarmed by this. I think it is because our leaders are assuring everyone that the Russians are all talk, see? And that the odds of a nuclear war actually happening are extremely low. Meanwhile, both sides just continue to take steps to escalate war in Ukraine. So basically, what I want to say, the people, basically I say, people in the Western world and leaders that tell them say, I make it like say, boy, Russia does attack, and this is not gonna happen. But guess what? According to the scriptures, hey, this is gonna happen, man. See? According as we are going to the scriptures and I bring out the scriptures, I'm gonna show you say, Russia gonna destroy America. See? Yes. It says, I know the Russians are repeatedly threatening U.S. with nuclear war. In fact, Dmitry Medvedev just warned that if the U.S. does not back down, our land will be on fire and the concrete will melt.
Gone. Right, and according to the scripture, what basically take place. That's its prophecy. According to what written in 2 Peter 3. Right, you can bring to brother 2 Peter 3 and 10.
And it says 2 Peter 3 verse
10. Yeah, man, verse 10.
verse 12.
Let's start at 10. Let's start at 10.
But that day, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heaven shall pass away with a great noise.
So talking about what these ICBM missiles we're going to use in the time to come. Right? According to the prophecy, these ICBM missiles are going to use, right? Lord refer to them as well. Yahweh Bashimir shall refer to these ICBM missiles as well. Your army. Right? Them built for a purpose. Right? They never basically built for, you know, put on parade, you know, or basically, you know, show off with. Them built for use. Are they going to use, you know, in this nuclear destruction, in this coming third world war destruction is preparing right now. Right? Mainly in America, according to what in the scripture. Right? So this is what's going to basically happen in the time to come. Right, go on, brother.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heaven shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So all these, you know, tall skyscraper building in America, all these pretty places, they're going to basically melt according to what we read in the scripture. Right?
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness. So looking for and hasten unto the coming. So looking for and hasten unto the coming of the day of the Lord of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
So we think of cause all these elements basically melt with fervent heat. Right? These ICBM missile warrior they'll come down through the earth atmosphere, you know, in America. Turn America in a lake of fire, you know, which I speak about in Revelation. Right? Melt every single thing. Right? So if I tell you, after America get burned by ICBM missile, what happened to America? Tell us the wild beasts of the highlands are going to dwell there, so nobody going to live back in the land of America. So this is what preparing to take place. And more as the day go by, we see how, you know, how closer we get into this prophecy. Right? This third world war, destruction. Right? Here you go on.
This is Malachi 4 verse 1.
1.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven.
So the day cometh, so we're approaching that day right now. Right? Rapidly. 1.
Behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, ye all that do wickedly, shall be stubble.
So all the proud ass people in America are going to basically get burned up. Right? In this ICBM missile fire. The scripture tells us that in all the land, which is the land of America, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, and a third I will let it go through the fire. Right? See how Shemesh are going to live elect from, you know, that nuclear destruction are going to take place in the time to come. Right? Believe our scripture in 2 Ezra. I think 2 Ezra 8 and 50 says, many great misery shall done to them in the latter time, because they are walking in great pride. But the scripture tells us here, read again, brother, all the proud, yea.
Say, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts. That it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
So what basically take place here. So this is prophecy. Right? Everything was predestined by the Heavenly Father. This is what prepared to take place right now. Right? You can go back to the article now, brother.
It says if the West continues its unrestrained pumping of the Kiev regime with the most dangerous types of weapons, Russia's military campaign will move to the next level. As you bring out now in scripture, I say, Lord said, I put things in the heart to come up
against America.
America,
but we understand and we know that before this war kick off, right, the MOTV basically become monetary, right, before this third world war kick off full fledged.
Russia's military campaign will move to the next level where visible boundaries and potential predictability of actions, the parties to the conflict will be erased, and then he said down here, and then the Western nations will not be able to sit in their clean homes laughing at how they carefully weaken Russia by proxy. You see, just like how, you know, back then you have the Cold War. After the Cold War, you know, America celebrate Russia had all kind of different shambles and things. You know, so people in America enjoy themselves and say, yo, we're victorious. Yeah, basically what the man said, that not gonna happen. Basically I tell him, that not gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Zin?
Take it to
this
America,
time it not gonna happen again. Zin? What come, not gonna happen again.
Yeah, Russia take it to the West this time.
He says, by proxy, everything will be on fire around them. Their people will harvest their grief in full. As scripture talks about the harvest is ripe. In full. The land will be on fire and the concrete will melt. Meldev wrote before citing a Bible verse from Revelation 9 verse 18.
Go on. Can we read that Bible verse?
This is Revelation 9, I'm going to start at verse 16.
Go on.
Then the number of the army of the horsemen.
Go on, talking about the warriors, them, you know, they basically hit America. Right, because all these countries across the world, they're going to shoot off their ICBM missiles in America. Right, according to what the scripture, you know, speak about. Right, so they come from a far country. What come from a far country? These ICBM missiles from the end of heaven. right? Intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? From one continent to the other. What?
And the number of the army of the horsemen
Gone.
were 200,000.
Gone.
And I heard the number of them, and thus I saw the horses in the vision,
Gone.
and them that sat upon them having
Breastplate.
breastplates of fire,
Gone.
and of jacinth and brimstone, and heads of horses. And the heads of the horses were as the head of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone.
Gone. So, you know, John, you know, on the island of Patmos, right, him see all these things, right? How Bashmir shall give the vision, you know, of all these things to come. You know, even the destruction, you know, will take place in the time to come. You know, the burden of America, right? America getting nuked, right? So John basically saw the ICBM missile war them, right, reading on America, right?
I know when I describe them, I just said the heads of the horses are like head of iron, because when horses actually represent power, see? And the ICBM missile a powerful thing. When you say lion, it's more like it's a fearful sight when them see them, man. Yes. Yeah? Them have a fierce look. Them coming towards America, or wherever them are going to hit.
And these three was the third part of. And it said by these three was the third part of men killed.
Which is the third part of men is who? Esau, Edom, the lowest of men, right? Sons of God, the sons of men, and the sons of the wicked, right? The lowest of men, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white people, right? You can hold a scripture to in Isaiah 34. Right, go on.
They kill by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issue out of their mouth.
Right.
It says Isaiah 34:1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein. The world and all the things that come forth of it."
So all nations supposed to take heed to, you know, what the scripture says, you know, with the men of the Lord. But, you know, basically, I said right, as basically a speaker right now. Because, you know, we're actually living in a time when these things actually come to pass before our eyes. Right, the top official, you know, mentioned about Revelation. Show that, as I mentioned earlier in the video, that these leaders, right, presidents, you know, right across the world have been watching us, right, for a very long time, and now them see the things that we speak, right, through the spirit and power of Bashmir shall come to pass, right, and they know that. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, Esau Edom are coming at us having great wrath, because they know that, you know, we are going to rule next, right? Regular Edomites might not know our people, but the top rulers of this earth, they know about certain things, yo, and they understand about certain prophecies. So you know, quote Revelation 9 and 18, right? Which basically, you know, it's a future prophecy that will take place in the time to come. Right, go on, brother.
It says, "For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies."
So the indignation of the Lord, the indignation of Yahweh, right? Yahweh Bashmir Shai, right? Righteous anger, right? Is upon all these nations, and his fury, continue, brother,
upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
So you're going to deliver them to the slaughter. According to what written in Zephaniah 3. Can I bring out Zephaniah 3, brother? And brother, go back to that. Zephaniah 3 and 8.
This is Zephaniah 3, verse 8.
What?
It said, "Therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prayer."
Until the day you rise up to the prayer. This is the point, go on.
"For my determination is to gather the nation."
For Yahweh, Bashmir Shai, determination is to gather all these nations, all these military, right through the four corners of the earth. One.
"That I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation."
God, so you're going to have all the armies them in the Middle East, right? The valley of decision. You know, mentioned in Joel 3. Right, Joel 3 and 1. Right?
"Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy."
God. Alright, continue, brother.
it says their slain also shall be cast down,
Castle.
and shall be it says their slain also shall be cast out, yeah, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
So they stink going to come up out of their carcasses. So a lot of dead bodies going to basically lie at open field. Right, go on.
And the mountains shall be melted with their blood,
Go on.
and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved.
Go on.
The heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
Go on. So scripture says the heavens are going to roll together as a scroll. So we're going to basically cast, the heavens basically roll together as a scroll. When these warriors, come down on America, the scriptures speak about, the heads of lion, 200,000. So the scripture says, go on, brother.
It says heaven shall be dissolved,
Gone.
and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll.
Gone. When these ICBM missile warriors hit America, go on.
And all their hosts shall fall down,
Gone.
as the leaf falleth off from the
vine.
From the vine,
Go on.
and as a fallen fig from the fig tree.
Gone.
See? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Talking about what? The ICBM missiles, the large sword.
See?
Right? Go bathed in heaven. What?
Behold, it shall come down upon
So
Idumea.
you're going to come down upon who? Idumea. And Idumea is what? The Greek we have saying Edom. Right? So you say by what? By the smoke with upon again, brother? About the third part of men dead. They put to death. Revelation 9. I know how much it is again. Revelation 9 18.
Revelation 9 and
18, I think.
18.
One.
So by these three was the third part of men killed
Gone.
by the fire and by the smoke
Gone.
and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouth.
Gone.
Which
Gone.
issue out of their mouth.
Gone. So she say, the sword of the Lord will be in heaven that will come down upon Idumea, which is basically Esau, Edom,
Gone.
the wicked. One.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Gone.
Thus
Right.
saith the Lord
So
Yahweh.
there's a judgment written, for basically America. Right?
This can go down a little more.
Yeah, go on.
Say, for their power is in their mouth and in their tears, for their tears were like unto serpents,
Gone.
and at the heads with them they do hurt.
So with that, I say all praises and honor unto Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Grave Stone. Shalom to all the brothers and out there pushing the truth in all sincerity and in all honesty. Shalom.
Shalom.